Hey everybody, it's your girl Pajama with Pajama Life. And today, oh my goodness, do we have some crazy things to watch and see, but I couldn't watch them without my two buddies here. David, the guru of all things Star Wars, say hey to the people.
Hey everybody, great to be with you on a blustery, windy afternoon or evening here in our nation's capital, ready to chat with you about some shows that might have lost their way.
Oh Lord, and we have the guru of all things Marvel and Tolkien. Say hey to the people. Zed?
Yeah, you'll get that. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Oh no.
Hi, everybody. Dave gets it. So,
okay. Here we go. Today, we're going to talk about the craziest movie of the year. Well, maybe the craziest movie of the year so far.
there you go.
Cocaine Bear. Let's take a look.
I've always wanted to see a bear in real life. We have such good luck in nature.
What'd you see? It's demented or something.
What?
Millions of dollars worth of cocaine dropped from the sky early today onto a driveway in Knoxville, Tennessee. Kennedy Jones reports tonight it was found on the body of a man who fell to his death when his parachute failed to open.
When the plane's going down, the pilots know where to drop our load. And then we just go and get it.
Could you imagine that? You're on cocaine. Does it do the cocaine? There was a bear. A really terrible bear.
A bear?
That story in the weather at the top of the hour, but first, more of your favorite hits.
I cannot stop laughing at that scene with the bear and chasing the ambulance. That is
I believe I can fly.
Oh my gosh, that was some kind of crazy bear. Pat, since I know you love it so much, why don't you start us off on Cocaine Bear?
What's not to love? I mean,
Quite a bit.
it had awesome performances by everybody in it. I mean, even the bear. You have Kerry Russell, who is amazing in The Americans. For those of you who haven't watched it, you should be watching this. You should watch it now because it's over. And they also had her co-star was the sheriff there you saw, or the park ranger you saw at the end of it. So it was good to see them two back together. Ray Liotta's final, screen cinematic appearance. Plus, this was I can't remember who the director was.
Elizabeth Banks.
Zach and Miri, yes.
Yep.
It was Miri and Elizabeth Banks. And what a great, she's obviously figured out how to do the absurd.
Yeah.
From, she's taken something that kind of happened and obviously she's fictionalized it quite a bit. But, oh my God, it is a roller coaster of just ridiculousness, and it was fabulous. Don't go in it looking for any big deep meaning. Don't try to figure out anything out of it.
Yeah.
Go have a good time. It's like getting on a roller coaster. There's no point to it, but oh my God, it's great fun. That is exactly what this movie was. If you haven't seen it, I can't recommend it enough. It was delightful.
Okay, David's got insight on this because he's actually reading or read. There's a book attached to it. Talk about it, David.
Well, a couple of things here. This is based on a real story. And when we say based,
insane to think
it's
about.
loosely based. The opening scene, how the cocaine gets lost in the manner it is, the death of Andrew Thornton, former Lexington police officer, veteran, parachutist, attorney at law, drug smuggler. There is so much in his story, including an unsolved murder from the 1970s. The reality is more bizarre than the truth of this, but as a film, it is fun. And you know what?
Yes,
I could smell Oscar in a world. With hot dog hands.
Yes.
With hot dog fingers, Elizabeth Banks has taken an extraordinary story and made it surreal. Margot Martindale, if you're watching, and I hope you are, I love you. You are an amazing talent. You were great in Secretariat. You're great in The Americans. You're great in everything you do. And you stole this movie. This lovelorn police officer that's armed. Jesse
Yeah.
Tyler Ferguson. Oh my gosh.
He
This
looks
movie was great.
unrecognizable.
Really?
I don't know if he's just put on weight or if they had a fat suit for him and jacked up his hair. I mean, at first I was like, who is that?
My
And then
man
I was
was
like,
great.
oh Lord.
Now, much more tragedy. That bear, he OD'd. He did not make it. He did not get to maul anybody.
In
He ate
real life.
in real life, that poor bear died.
You can see it. I read that. It's like in a place down there somewhere down in Tennessee or wherever in the heck that happened. It's like in like a thrift store type of place where they took the bear, stuffed it, and you can go see the bear. You can see
Oh my God, no.
There is some controversy whether that's the bear or not, but the bear that they are saying is the cocaine bear just this week officiated his very first wedding. Two crazy kids from Pikeville, Kentucky got married there at that strip mall in Lexington.
Oh,
the bride wore white and the bear wore black. But yes, indeed, the cocaine bear officiated this service. And hey, kids, they're not charging. If you want to get married with the cocaine bear, that strip mall, that store, they're not charging you for it yet. So come on, get registered there. Get all your beef jerky and Ale 8. That's a Kentucky staple. And have a good old time.
Okay. Cocaine Bear. I watched it a couple of times.
And every time was a joy.
No.
Oh my God.
The second time. Definitely not for kids, even though they have some kids in this movie. I have to say, the little boy in the movie who you saw in the clip, he's excellent. I mean, he's an excellent little actor. And
he's a Colombian drug lord in real life, so there wasn't a lot of acting there. No.
Okay. The bear was a delight in the the bear was hilarious. And everybody, it was fun. It's very dumb, but I mean, especially if you with some friends or it's a late night, this is going to be definitely Elizabeth Banks has hit on a cult classic. It's got to be. I can see this being
already a classic.
What's the names in college dorm rooms for years to come, and it's just real dumb. But you know, it's stupid. So if you like stupid movies, Cocaine Bear is for you.
And a year from now, we're going to be talking about it during the Oscars.
I cannot imagine.
I would bet you. I'd lay money. I would take a bet.
Absolutely not.
You don't want to make that bet? You're sure?
Absolutely not. It's not.
Positive.
I'm going to say it, and we can run it in 2024.
You sound positive.
Cocaine Bear will not be nominated for an Oscar.
Put some money on
Tony, mark this one. Mr. Producer, we're coming back to the tape.
I believe it.
Yeah, we want to screenshot this crap. And
I think it will be nominated for a Razzie.
It can be both.
Or maybe Independent Spirit Award.
Both.
Cocaine Bear.
Delightful.
Okay, next up is, and Bluegrass Conspiracy. And maybe we'll do a book review on it and a movie adaptation show. Okay, next up is this week's episode of The Mandalorian, the pirate arc.
Pirates?
I'm requesting authorization and backup for dealing with pirates on Navarro, sir.
Perhaps the leaders of Navarro need to understand why becoming a Republic signatory is valuable.
By letting them suffer.
It often takes a new perspective before one is able to see the light.
Perhaps it is time for us to live in the light once again, on a planet where we are welcome
Our people have strayed from the way, and it is not enough for a few to walk it. Mandalore must all come together. You are the one who can unite us.
Ooh, very good episode. Okay, Patrick, tell us what you thought.
Oh my god, it was delightful. You know what? I like the fact that they're not just focusing on the cute little marketable toy, Grogu. I'm glad to see they're really breaking out, and you know there was some really good stuff in this. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, I like to talk about that little scene where they're talking about we need to walk in the light and all this stuff. They have the council and whoever's holding the conch. Oh wait, it's not the conch, it's the hammer. Which I thought of that from like Lord of the Flies. I'm like, okay, I've got the conch, I get to talk, and then whoever's got the hammer gets to talk in front of the assembly. Which I was like, huh, interesting. Just weird literary thing that hit me when I was watching that.
Yeah, me too.
But it was great to see, you know, okay, the armor kind of go, you know, yes, you followed the creed while you've been here, but you need to unite all of us, the people that follow the creed and the people that don't. So it's like someone saying, hey, Methodists, come on over. We're Catholics, but we're all supposed to be Christian here. You know, let's get all these weird little sects together. You know, I understand you think you can take your mask, your helmet off, but we don't. But, you know, we're all still following the same dude. Let's all follow the Megasaurus or whatever it was. I'm trying to think of the name. But anyway.
Mythosaur.
Thank you. So it's totally mythological. Great. But it was really good action sequences. Watching Din and I can't think of her name now. I'm having
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan Kryze. She was awesome. I mean, you could see her being the leader she'd been trained to be.
Yeah.
You know, giving the briefing to the men. Yeah. We got to do this military. Okay, you guys ready to drop? Okay, you drop on my command. You know, all this kind of stuff. It was really a great episode. I loved it a lot. Was it perfect? Pretty darn close. And you got to see Zed. Zed came back, which is why I have the title Zed today. For those of you who watched Rebels, you got to see Zed, and you actually heard it was the same voice from the same guy who did that, which I'm glad to see. They're really honoring the Rebels Rebels series they did, because you got Zed actually with the right voice. You also have Bo-Katan, the actual actress who played the voice of Bo-Katan is actually playing Bo-Katan. So you're seeing some, and you know, also spoiler, and I may be stepping on Dave's specialty here. When you're in that scene where you know you got the guy he's looking at the thing from High Magistrate, you know, and Zed walks up. As you're zooming through that, you do see a small glimpse of Dave Filoni, who actually made it into his own series for us. He's just like one of the patrons at the bar. So really cool stuff. A lot of neat stuff in this. So good. I'm glad to see they're kind of diversifying a little bit, not just focused in on just the foundling. So delightful.
Now, which one was Zed? Was he in the very first scene? Or the second scene?
He was
the tall guy?
He was the big alien with the ears that came up and talked to him, you know. And it was the same voice and everything. So spot on good.
Okay, David.
I tell you,
I think he might have a different opinion.
Somewhat, but let's talk about the common ground first. Seeing Zeb was just fantastic. Hearing that voice, what a great job of taking. He's tall. He does, you know, the alien. I mean, he's a true alien. His legs are more like hind legs. I don't know how, you know, they have to do some CGI if they do a full body. It was incredible to see him there. Clearly, a little, not only a nod to Rebels, but also passing the baton to the show Ahsoka that we will be seeing.
Yep.
Previews have shown that we're going to see the Rebels crew. So that's awesome to see him connect. Rogue One, you heard Hera's name. You saw Chopper briefly on Yavin. So we've seen those characters in the real, in the live action shows, but this was great to see him there.
Yeah.
Loved that. Mandalorian action. It was the combat was good. Patrick's position on where the Mandalorians are going, I think I hope you're right, because I thought that's a really optimistic view. I became very distrustful of the armorer as she kind of brought Bo-Katan out without the helmet. And, it's been this pretty rigid apostate. You're either with us or not. So that I don't trust religious leaders who kind of like change their tune in midstream. A little time there, I turned down the Kool-Aid, and I've been making those right decisions ever since. Bad joke. Come on, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, a little funny. Things that I did like though that I had concerns about. The pirate king. We bring him in. He's horrible. So I hated the look of him.
The costume was Sid Croft.
It was terrible. So bad. And then, but you bring him in, you think he's going to be a big baddie maybe for a while, and then he dies fairly unceremoniously there. So I was like, there was a little big moment, and then just kind of like took the rug out. But and I understand it's TV budget, but man, there's not a lot of people in that town. There's not a lot of people. They, some CGI or run some people around a little bit more. It looked like a pretty small group of people.
25.
I mean, it was that
but
was.
Could you say some of them got blown up by?
Some of them could have been killed. That was. Andor did a great job of pointing out, hey, we only have these 30 villagers or whatever that came for the event, but we explained that out with some dialogue. And unless they wanted to talk about genocide, it seemed like the town was a little sparse.
Yeah.
But the action scenes were great. Tim Meadows, we continue to see comedians in the show. It was kind of fun to see him.
He was a principal like in Mean Girls. It was delightful.
He was.
No,
good to see him.
He's looking good because he's a little long in the tooth, so he's looking real good.
He's good. The Imperial, she is the Eddie Haskell of this galaxy, far away. He's really annoying, but the New Republic, every time they show them, it just makes the New Republic look dumber, and you're less invested in the fact that they were fighting tyranny if they're going to be that incompetent and that corrupt and that cruel. Come on, man. I think that was, I understand where they're going with it, and I'm sorry that they're trying to rush to connect with the sequels. That is my biggest criticism, is that aspect of it, of making the New Republic not look like a government that you wanted to root for, because it does undercut, in my mind, the original trilogy. That's who replaced the Empire. They're not good at all. They're not good guys at all. Why were they fighting? So that's my criticism there. That and this is a way they're going to go. So I'm going to be on the soapbox, I fear, a lot of the year. But the Mandalorian scenes they were fun. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was a really good episode, and I got to see my little boy, Bubble Freak. I love him. And then the little rats in the trees. And then they were like, yeah, they went that way. I thought that was super cute to see the original Star Wars character and then the new trilogy Star Wars character. I just love that little Babu Freak. He's my little dude right there. And it was good to see the armorer fighting. Okay, she's a beast. And I remember telling the producer, going, I bet she's pretty strong if she can wield that hammer and forge all that Beskar. And then she showed, these are not just cute muscles. These are real fighting muscles.
Season one. I mean, she really kicked butt against the.
She's amazing. I love the actress. I love her voice.
Yes.
But I like you. Is it David? I think I had a little twinge of, why is she? I mean, to say now all of them have to be, follow our way is interesting. So, and I think we see there might be a problem with that in the final moments of the episode. So, and I love the character of the soldier, what's his name? The one who went to the Tim Meadows. yeah, like say something's going on, you guys need to pay attention. I like him, and he is a friend of Pajama Life because we did a review of his Christmas movie, and he said he loved our review. So yay! So he's number one in my book. But
Percy, Heather, come on down.
yeah, so definitely this is a really great episode. Really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. The whole family could watch it. Very encouraging. And the Mandalorians may have a home finally because of my boy Carl Weathers. Woo! But I have to say, I did enjoy Carl Weathers' directed episode last week a little more than this one. So, but definitely check out The Mandalorian. We only have 2 more episodes left. So, if you haven't watched it, you need to start watching it. All right. Let's go to the final. And this is the finale of this season's Bad Batch.
Echo and I have scoured through Imperial and Republic files, but intel about the Advanced Science Division is limited.
According to a contact of mine, Hemlock's set to attend a high-level Imperial summit in 2 rotations. If we do a covert infiltration, we can plant a homing beacon on Hemlock's ship and track him to his base.
Into Crosshair. 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 Crosshair.
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm sick of Omega. She is always doing the wrong thing and messing up the plan. I'm tired of her. And okay, so I don't like what happened to Tech. I thought that was some BS. I won't say, but I didn't like it. And I want them to have a world where they can just take a break and relax and put down their sword. But I don't think they will be able to. But my friend, and I love her, Nala Say, was back. And so I love her character. I love the Kaminoans. And so I was glad to see her, but I'm really like, I was disappointed in that. But maybe what I think happened didn't really happen. So we'll see. But I don't know if this is a kid's show anymore. I just don't know if it's a kid's. It's a teenager show at this point. I think it's not for little kids. I feel like. But Patrick, what did you think?
Yeah, I continue to like the Bad Batch a lot. It tends to be a little bit more adulty, as you mentioned, but it really follows in the feel of the entire Clone Wars and Rebels. I mean, it's got that same kind of. We're not going to treat kids like they're stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an animated series, but it also is assuming that kids are smarter than what we give them credit for, because they always were. They always have been. We were smarter than what my parents thought we were. You know, watching those Saturday morning cartoons back then, we caught subtext because we're adults. You know, we live in a real world. I'm interested to see where it goes. I still like it a lot. I mean, it's an interesting way to. And Omega did seem like she's kind of growing up a bit she was taking a lot more active portion in the actual action that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good, you know, or bad, depending
And
on.
then she did a dumb thing that really was like, girl,
she's
again with you?
She's young. What are you going to do?
That's
how you learn. That's how you learn. So, but it was good to see her taking more of an active portion rather than just being the thing we have to drag along, you know, behind us. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah. David, what'd you think?
Oh, I liked it a lot. You know, you kind of saw many of these things heading in that direction with Sid and whatnot. We've got the new villain, Dr. Hemlock, which is a great name.
Yeah.
That's kind of a fun one. But you're right. There's some very adult themes here. I mean,
Yeah.
the rights and liberties of the clones and all of that. Obviously, Tech's fate, which only if we saw him get like hit with a lightsaber through the chest, we know it's just a flesh wound. This was good. I love the little surprise there at the end, a little cliffhanger. If you haven't seen it, I mean, that was I thought that might be the case.
Oh, really?
I did.
Okay.
But it was great to see that connection. And how will that impact Omega as she goes? I mean, she's really connected with the Bad Batch right off over all the others on the planet at the base where they grew up. Be interesting to see how this relationship goes if we get another season. There is talk based on ratings and such that it might just kind of leave us hanging. I don't know. We will see. I hope not.
I hope not too.
Because I think it's getting into some good stuff here. But we will see.
I hope it gets another season. They could at least, everything in Star Wars is a trilogy. Why wouldn't you give this one a three season take on it? And it's got 16 episodes, so maybe you do a shorter season to wrap it up. But I think there's enough what they have put in with the Hemlock and the what I thought would happen was the two other dignitaries at that station. I thought they might get murked because they were disagreeing with what should happen to the clones. So I thought they were going to get murked and, blame it on the clones and then, use that as an excuse to wipe them out. So I think it says some stuff about, slavery, are these clones slaves, and that they, he keeps referring to them as property. That's kind of like, I don't like that, but
well, they are the bad guys. I mean, the Empire is the bad guys,
right?
So.
Yeah, but I'm kind of like, is this where we're going with it? But yeah, I can see there's enough there. There's enough meat on this bone that they could definitely have another season.
Yeah.
And what? Well, I don't want to say, but I was kind of like, Sid could eat
a bag of Richards.
I gotta keep it PG. She could go away for all I care. I was hoping what's his name would go boop boop when she was at the thing, be like pew, and be like, okay, now you can take me and shoot that insect in the face. So I don't want to see any more Sid, and maybe since Rhea Perlman will be on Poker Face, that will be the last we see of her. But yeah, great season, full of action, advanced stories, and they better not cancel it. So definitely, but I still feel like the way the last arc of the season went, I don't think this is for little kids to watch. So I think definitely you would need parental supervision on it. But, that's up to y'all parents. So definitely check out The Bad Batch. You can binge it like Pat likes to do. He likes to binge stuff.
Yep.
It'll be a long binge with 16 episodes. But okay, so that's all we have for today. Let's see. Next week we'll have Ted Lasso. We'll talk about the first few episodes, and then we will come back at the end of the season and talk about Ted Lasso. And it'll be the end of the series. Boo-hoo. And The Mandalorian, and I believe Shadow and Bone, the second season. So, Pat, you got any last words?
Nope. Just this is the way.
This is the way.
Yeah,
David?
maybe. Yeah, maybe. Have a great week, everybody. Keep watching these things. And if you see something you like on TV, see if there's any kind of books out there. Read a book too. We'll talk about those down the road.
That's what Pajama Life is all about. We're all about the adaptation of the movies and books. And I got a couple coming out. And we got a couple of really fun trailer reactions coming up soon. So look forward to that. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.